All right, welcome everybody to Mint to Vent Podcast News. My name is Jaime, and today I'm going to do something a little different. I got a special guest today coming from the West Coast. You guys might recognize him from some of his things you see on his social medias, or you might recognize him from his YouTube channel where he does a lot of music tutorials. So I'd like to welcome everybody to your friend and mine, Bill Degillio. Bill, welcome to the Mint to Vent Podcast.
Oh, thank you, Evan. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you, man. It's good to have you. Like we were saying before, you got a lot of music background and stuff like that. I always see you do some solo things on your music channel, which is really awesome. And so tell us about your solo album.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I have a lot of old songs that I've been writing for years, that I did on kind of older equipment. And so now that I have the technology to rework them, I kind of brought them back up to like modern fidelity and decided to release them.
Awesome.
So we'll give it a shot.
Heck yeah, man. So like I said, being that you're a musician and stuff like that, I kind of have a construction background. Like sometimes to get through a long day or ahead of me, so I like to use a little hype up music or a hype up list to get me going through the day. Do you have like a hype up type of thing, or what type of music do you like to listen to get you in the mood for some jamming?
Well, believe it or not, one of my loves is it's like a guilty pleasure kind of thing. Really, it's like early '80s R&B.
Okay, nice.
Like Earth, Wind and Fire, Heat Wave, bands like that.
Sweet, good choice, good
Kind of
choice.
disco, but not quite. So.
Okay.
I love that stuff.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And being a musician yourself, who were some of your inspirations growing up? Like, who were the ones that made you want to start playing?
Well, I think my earliest one was actually Todd Rundgren.
All right.
Yeah, he was in a band called the Naz, and then he kind of branched out into a solo career.
Heck yeah.
And so I thought, yeah, this guy he's really got it. He's a great guitar player, but he plays all the instruments on his albums.
Oh,
Great
that's amazing.
songwriter. Yeah.
Definitely have to go check some of that stuff out.
Yeah, he's been around for years, even, and a great producer too.
Yeah, for sure.
Produced "Bad Out of Hell" by Meatwave, by Meatloaf.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Nice.
That was a big seller, So.
Oh, yeah.
Got him some success,
So, who are you, like, what kind of music are you listening to today?
Oh, nowadays I listen to a little of everything. A lot of jazz, like traditional jazz, kind of. Like guys like Jim Hall or Chick Corea. A lot of piano players too.
All right.
And then some classical music too, especially like later romantic 20th century stuff. So I really mix it up.
Oh, yeah, for sure you got to. Same here. I like to listen to a little bit of everything. Like, today's music, I feel, doesn't have too much, I mean, as far as like what you would catch on the mainstream or like what's popular or trending, I don't feel like it has too much like uniqueness to it. So I think it's really cool when I find some new unique music and go down the rabbit hole. Like I said, when I was first exposed to you, I saw you on the Random Rants, with Pauly Shore and things like that. So I didn't know you had a music background until I saw you there. And then I went to your music, and it was really cool because I like the Satriani's and the Steve Vai's, and I like those instrumental, real cool, laid back, cool storytelling type music. And some of your songs out there, how they're those cool instrumentals when you get on them solos, and it's kind of cool and laid back vibe. So it was really cool to find your music.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, it was funny. It was like an afterthought. Pauly just said, we'll bring the guitar on the podcast just as if an afterthought, just to see if we could use it, So.
Yeah. And he said that you said you had that Larry David thing going on, and that's true. That's pretty. That's pretty on point.
Yeah, that's how he noticed me. So.
That's funny. So I like to ask some musicians this whenever I get a chance to talk to some. I like to ask them, if you could jam with any musician today, who would it be?
Oh, good question. It would probably be Todd Rundgren.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's still one of my big heroes. He's still out there gigging and stuff, So if I ever get a chance to play with him, I think I'd jump at the chance.
Oh, for sure. It sounds amazing. That would be so cool, man. That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I saw you on those Random Rant podcasts and things like that, and then I seen some of your projects recently where you guys did those cover songs with the Krusties and stuff like that, and those were fun to watch. I also got the first copy, and it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun songs on there. It was just it was so cool to see you guys out there. It just seemed like you guys were just having like the best time.
Oh, it was cool. It was cool. Yeah, the guys in the band were great. You know, Pauly's he's something else, man. He loves the music so much. You know.
So does he pick the song list there, or do you guys all pick the songs together?
Oh no, this it's his project.
Oh, I
What
gotcha.
he wants to do. Yeah, you know. So it's basically driven by him. You know. So.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
Interesting.
but he's been involved in music for so long. He knows exactly what he wants. You know, he knows the tunes. You know, and all that. You know, so.
So before you met him, were you ever involved in comedy at all? Was it, or was it just mainly just the music?
No, never tried stand up. Never did any acting. None of that stuff. You know?
Interesting.
You know, if there was, I was involved in music theater, but I was always in the pit band. I wasn't on stage. You know?
Right. It's funny how that stuff works sometimes, you know?
Yeah, you never know.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
All right. Well, that was some fun questions, man, about that stuff, and I got my little intro to you, man, and like some of my viewers got to see you and stuff like that. Like I said, if so, I was wondering if you got any questions for me.
Yeah, I would say, how did you get drawn into podcasting?
Well, I've been a fan of it. I like to watch them. I watch a lot of them, and I was a fan of a lot of the comedians that do it. Like, of course, of course, Joe Rogan. I liked when he had some of the weird guests on there with some of their controversial topics. What I really liked about his show also is how sometimes you would see a different side of somebody, whether it was like maybe a musician or an actor, and then you kind of see like what's inside their brain sometimes when he kind of starts asking the right questions here and there. I really got attracted to that kind of thing. And then I like all the comedians, like the Theo Vaughns. I used to like, and I used to watch some Tiger Belly, and some of them guys out there. Of course, the Random Rants, which was pretty new whenever, when the pandemic started, it started seeing some things happening and things like that. It was, fun to see how many people started getting into it. And I always wanted to build up the courage to try my, or dip my foot into comedy, I guess.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. Excellent.
It's a lot of fun for sure.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, like I said, it was, I never thought I'd be doing something like this. If you told me this years ago, I would have thought, you're crazy, man. But here I am.
Oh, yeah. So when I first started, I had a couple of people on there with me, and we tried to do a few things like we tried a couple things like that, and it ended up being solo. Through just however the timing happens and things like that. But when I first started, like I said, I tried to interview musicians, and things like that in the local area, but it kind of hit a wall. Like I maybe got like a few musicians and things like that, so I had to hit a wall. So then I, started having fun with the news and things like that.
Ah, I see. Well, that's one thing. Some musicians are good for interviews. Others, they're just not interview material. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So.
Or they just don't want to give me no time.
Oh, that happens too. Yeah. Well, just like Random Rants, when Pauly knew exactly what comedians to have on.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure there were people that he probably knew, but he thought, I don't think so. So he was very careful in his choice. So it worked out great.
Oh yeah, for sure. So do you have any other things coming up? Any new other up and coming projects coming up?
Not at the moment. I continue to do on Instagram. I do a bi-weekly live stream.
Yep.
And it's just real casual. I don't, people can come on and ask me questions, and I might throw out a couple hopeful bits of wisdom that I've picked up along the years.
Oh yeah, for sure. I try to catch them sometimes. It's the same days I'm shooting sometimes, but I do try to catch them when I can. I try to get in there for a couple minutes if I can, and then I got to get it back to editing. But I do sometimes try to make a minute in there.
Yeah, because at least I'm old. At least I have a couple of years experience. So I can pass that on, and I've done something.
Oh, for sure, man, for sure. Well, like I said, man, I appreciate you for coming on. This was a fun collab. We got to do this again. I would totally, here at the Ment Event Studio, you're welcome to come on anytime. And if you ever want to try to, post some opinions on some news headlines or anything like that, or if you want to, if we got any new up and coming projects coming up, you're welcome to, come on here and we can promote them or anytime you want, man. Studio is open for you anytime.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I got an idea here. You can pass this along. I know you did the story about the zoo that instead of having pandas, they had dogs dressed up as pandas.
Yes.
Well, why didn't they just go to Panda Express?
That's what I said. That's a good call there. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been the best. They would have had some more realistic pandas there.
Yeah, there you go.
They would have looked better at Panda Express.
Right, right. But no, thanks. I appreciate the having me on your program. That's great. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like I said, we got to do this again, man, for sure.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching, and I hope y'all had a great time like I did over here, and maybe you'll see us out here doing it again. And thanks everybody, and we'll see you next time.